Welcome to the Flower Lounge, a place for conversations with wildly creative people and a little plant-loving wisdom to help you experience life in full bloom. I'm Katie Hess, flower alchemist and founder of LOTUSWEI, and I believe in a world where we're all living at our personal edge. What are you holding in your hands?
This is a new beautiful rock I got.
What is it?
It's called an orca rock, but
It's huge.
I know. It's some kind of chalcedony. I don't know.
Chalcedony. Chalcedony.
Yeah, chalcedony.
Orca. So it's like a whale rock?
Well,
Whale
it just
chalcedony?
has these patterns that they like an orca
God,
whale.
Gorgeous.
I know. I love it. It's just, and it doesn't look like the ocean, kind of.
It does.
Yeah, and it feels really good in my hands.
Oh, so nice.
It's very.
You are the ocean girl.
I am. I love it here so much. I'm so grateful.
Okay, welcome to the Flowerlounge Podcast. And this week is the Moonshine episode. And I am sitting with Kristina Wingeier, our intuitive astrologer, who is going to be telling us all about January of 2019.
2019.
Can
That
you
is
believe it?
so crazy. What happened to 2018? It went by like.
Oh my God. It was a big deal when we were in 2000. Now we're almost at 2020.
Oh, don't get me started on 2020. There's some serious astrology going down that year, but we're working our way up to it this year. Actually, there's a lot of things building this year towards some major cycles ending and beginning in 2020. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, it is cool. It's remarkable times we live in, truly. All right. Well, January 2019. So it really, like, the new year starts out pretty interesting because New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on where you live, Mars has moved into Aries, which is Mars's home sign. I think we talked about that like a tiny bit at the end of the last episode, but I think it's important to pay attention to where we're starting the year. So we're starting the year with Mars having just moved into rulership after a year of moving pretty slowly because of the retrograde and only going through a very short limited amount of signs in the zodiac. So Mars is really starting out super strong, action, drive, on fire, right? That's just happening. When we begin 2019, we'll be in the waning moon because we're going to have our first new moon on January 5th. And we're also in eclipse season because our first new moon will be a partial solar eclipse.
Ooh.
So that's kind of the vibe. Right out the gate. And actually even backing up the gate, Venus and the moon backing up to a gate, to the moon gate. Venus and the moon in the morning time on New Year's Day, early morning, you'll see that Venus and balsamic moon conjunction. It happens every month at the balsamic moon right now. So that's just in Scorpio this month. It's a beautiful thing to observe in the sky, and it is this larger Venus cycle of making these conjunctions with the balsamic moon as she's descending slowly into the underworld later this year when she'll be out of sight for like 3 months, moving to the evening sky. So that's something very beautiful and very deeply introspective, like really just stillness and into what you love, like waking up on this day. I don't know, maybe you'll have a hangover. I don't know, but it's after New Year's Eve, and just really like giving yourself a moment of that stillness and that connection with what you love deeply to begin the new year. Wouldn't that be a nice way to start?
Oh, it sounds amazing. So it's just to make sure I understand, this is something that happens every year, but it doesn't always happen on the first. And it's visible?
It happens every month right now.
Okay.
So Venus, she makes these conjunctions with the waning balsamic moon every month when she's in the morning sky. And then when she's the evening star Venus, she makes the conjunctions with the waxing crescent moon every month. So it's part of her larger cycle and her larger story. And I just think we said gate, and I'm like, there's a moon gate conjunction, and it's visibly stunning to wake up and see Venus and the waning moon. It's just really a lovely thing to.
What does it look like, and how do you know they're in conjunction?
They're very close to one another in the sky. As long as your sky is clear, they will be like one will be on top of the other. I mean, of course, they're at a different distance from us, but it's a visual from Earth, or they'll be side by side, but I believe they'll be on top of each other, or one will be beneath the next one. And so you'll see Venus, the brightest thing in the morning sky, and then the waning crescent moon right beneath her. So just, I mean, you know me, I'm a sky lover. I get up
before the sun.
I do. I get up like at 3:30 in the morning most days, 4 o'clock. And it's really nice. Jupiter's also visible in the morning sky. So, and so is Mercury. All right.
Okay. So for New Year's Eve, if you're still up after and you're like partying until 3
not, yeah, 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning. Yeah, 5 in the morning. Okay. So, but anyway,
go to bed early.
That's just really beautiful.
No parties.
I love me some Venus and the moon.
A lot of people don't party on New Year's Eve.
Like, I don't party. I'll be in bed by 8. It's
most people I know go to bed early on New Year's Eve, right?
I go to bed early all the time, but
so we get up at 5 and we can see the conjunction.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's worth it. And if it's a clear sky, you'll also be able to see, as I said, Jupiter and Mercury. So look east, my friends. Okay, but the new year, so we have the Mars and Aries. There's also at kind of like some heaviness to start out the year. And that's because on New Year's Day or on January 2nd, depending on where you live, the sun is making its annual conjunction with Saturn. Sun and Saturn together in Capricorn. So this is a big kind of tone to the year. It's heavy, but it's
like get back to work.
Katie, do you ever stop working? We were just talking about that. Right. But it's actually like, certainly we could see it that way, but I feel like it's kind of like taking responsibility for your actions this year. Like just making that commitment to yourself that you are going to be taking responsibility for what you want to achieve this year, for creating your reality, you know, just like radically responsible and really focusing on what you're building out this year by looking at what you need to stop doing, right? The ways that you sabotage yourself. Because we're in a waning moon with this conjunction. So there's this energy of letting go still coming with us on this, you know, beginning of the new year, and really just kind of like realigning. You're getting like, I would say like the next couple of days between the 1st and the 5th, it'd be a really great time to consider the things that you need to like physically and energetically let go of so that you can take responsibility and really focus in on what you want. Because there's a lot of energy to build this year and also in this lunar cycle, right? So there's an aspect, and it may feel kind of heavy to some people, especially if you were up partying late and you're just like, you know, at the end of the year, it gets to the holidays, people are just, you know, they're eating so much and just everything's a little wild, and it's kind of like, dun, 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 New Year's Day, Sun conjunct Saturn. I'm laughing. Okay. I don't mean to laugh at you if it makes you feel uncomfortable, but you know, it's really, I don't know. I feel like it's conscious responsibility. So that's, God, what day is the 1st? Tuesday in the States in the evening. It's when it's exact, and like Wednesday morning for maybe some folks. So that's how we start the year.
Well, that was uplifting.
Hey, I started with Venus, didn't I?
Just joking. Venus
and the moon and the deep beauty of life. Then
once you get on the other side of that lovely moon gate.
I know. Break on through. Okay, so then on the 4th, which is the day before the new moon, so Mercury is going to change signs. Okay, so Mercury is moving really, really fast right now. So Mercury is going to make this quick trine with Uranus in Aries, which is going to be like kind of like a flash, you know, maybe a flash of something that can help you break through your own limitations. Nice. And then Mercury is going to move into Capricorn, which is, you know, a little bit like responsible and heavy and work oriented. It's like after Mercury's been like flying through Sagittarius, landing in Capricorn, but you know, it's okay. We're going to work with it. We're going to take all this Capricorn energy because we've got a Capricorn stellium for this
work.
So that's happening on Friday. And then on Saturday is this new moon, first new moon of 2019. It's going to take me a while. I might try to say 2018 a million times, in Capricorn, and it is a partial solar eclipse. So new moons, eclipses are always solar eclipses, just so we know. And this is a partial, so it's not going to be a total, and it's not visible from the States. I believe it's visible from, hold on. Maybe somewhere.
Indonesia.
Asia. It's always visible from Asia.
Indonesia.
Indonesia? New Zealand. Partial eclipse, East Asia and the Pacific.
Okay.
Anyway,
We have a lot of listeners in Singapore.
Okay, well, maybe they can see it, but we will feel it. There's so much energy in Capricorn with this new moon. We have, of course, the sun and the moon. We also have Mercury has just moved into Capricorn, and this new moon is sandwiched in between Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn.
Okay.
It's a stellium. So this is really about consciously committing to your 2019. That's what this new moon is about. We have this opportunity to kind of laser focus on, this is a South Node eclipse. So this is things that we're letting go of the structures and rules that no longer apply to the life that we're creating, right? This is Capricorn eclipse. So we're focusing on the long game, right? Because that's how we achieve mastery, is by steady, sustainable action, daily disciplines, right? The little things that really add up to success over long term. This is not like a overnight success kind of new moon to plant into, but this is like long-term foundational building. And it's eclipse season, y'all. So, who knows what will happen, because it's always a wild card. Is that coffee kicking in there, Katie?
It is.
Your eyes got bigger. You're like, oh. And yeah, I really just feel like the Saturn is about the rules and limits that don't serve anymore, and what you wanted, the disciplines that you want to create that are nurturing to you, that will nurture what you're growing, because we got the South Node eclipse, but the North Node is in Cancer, which is about nurturing, right? And tending to. So there's got to be this kind of devotional aspect to your discipline.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask whatever you like.
How do you know that it's a South Node eclipse?
Well, I'm looking at the chart.
Oh,
that's all I know. So
that's how you know that we're letting go of things that don't work.
Yeah, South Node eclipses are the clearing outs. Whenever
how do you know this stuff?
I'm magic. The nodes stay in two signs for about 18 months at a time, right? And they're always in the opposite signs. The North Node is what we're moving toward, kind of, and the South Node is what we're letting go of.
Okay, so right? For folks who, So for folks who are listening to November and December Moonshine episodes, this is where we're starting that whole new eclipse season with different lessons in terms of what we're moving towards and away from.
Yes, although we are completing a lesson in this particular month as well, but we're not there yet. Okay. But yes, this is a big new start to the eclipse cycle, and really rethink, rewrite, transform. Right? Look at the places you have extreme. Look at extremes of this Pluto energy. It's like looking at extremes and obsessions, looking what needs to be transformed. The Saturn's about, what rules do you want to play by? What structures will serve you? And clearing out from ones that do not make sense for you anymore, just because you've been doing them or someone told you to do them or whatever. This is, you want to be the master of your own, whatever you're building. You want to make your own rules, right?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I love it.
Although I have Saturn in Aries, so there you go. Okay, and what else did I write down here? Oh, I wrote that really aligning with the groups that are focused on healing, arts, and the love of humanity is kind of where to go. And the reason I'm talking about that is, we do have this North Node in Cancer, but I researched this particular eclipse, the family of eclipses that it originated from, and that was the energy, the kind of message of eclipses in this cycle. It was that is going to be, you're going to feel this pull toward aligning with new values and things that are more about healing and, humanitarian work and the arts and things like that. And we're building a lot more of that, I think. So that's a beautiful thing. And we're really grounding in.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. For 2019.
It's a perfect timing to do a soft launch of our wellness center.
Such a perfect, it's totally amazing. I wish I was there. I would be there every day. Tending to your roots, creating your foundations. It is eclipse season, y'all. So like literally like weird things happen during eclipse season. Weird opportunities might show up, you know, things might end suddenly, a new thing might start. I mean, I know it's like the beginning of the year and it's like, that's what we're hoping for, but the eclipse season is always very intense. It's not the same as last eclipse season with the Mars retrograde, which was a little crazy, you know, but there is this like pressure that happens in eclipse season, and it's for our growth. I feel like everything kind of accelerates during eclipse season, but it's a very, you know, grounded, earthy situation with this kind of understory of inspiration for a deeper healing. So ritual, what should we do, Katie?
Well, that's a new moon. We just decided we're going to do a blessing ceremony every new moon here at the building.
Oh, I love that.
So we're going to do a smoke offering and just invite folks to bring precious herbs, whatever, you know, spices or herbs that they have, and do one huge smoke offering.
Can you talk through like how to do a basic smoke offering for folks who may not know how to do that? Is that something you could
Yes, I mean, we work off of a traditional Tibetan practice that's many, many years old, and we incorporate chanting and that type of and meditation and that type of thing. But really simple, intentional practice could be to, the premise of the practice is generosity, and so we typically will visualize burning something, whether it's sage or palo santo or cinnamon or mugwort or frankincense or whatever your favorite herbs or resins or spices. You can visualize that smoke as a giant offering goddess, or you can visualize it as millions of offering goddesses going to all the different universes and worlds and offering all the biggest and best things. And if you're a really visual person, you can use that quality to visualize all your favorite things. You know, if you love mangoes, you can visualize making offerings of millions of mangoes, or gold jewelry, or I don't know, Ferraris if you're into cars, or like everyone gets a Ferrari. Woo!
Oh, you're funny. I love it. Yeah.
But cool. The idea is that you're just like, it's this incredible generation within you, like generating generosity, and everybody is fulfilled and everybody's wishes are fulfilled and everybody's full and whole and gets exactly what they need. And so the practice of that, it appeases beings who we either owe karmic debts to, or who are grumpy or disharmonious, because you're offering to all beings, right? Even the beings that are presenting obstacles for us.
Right.
As well as all the enlightened beings and your protectors and guardian angels and all of those types of beings and your loved ones and everyone you know. So that's kind of the simple, it isn't so much what you do, but more your intention behind it.
I love that. That is, and I'm like, okay, it's a smoke offering. It's about the air. Like I get that, and with the fire, but you're using things from the earth, right? That you're burning. And that's like connecting us to the energy of this moon, because it's an earth lunation. That's really cool. And then is it just, do you like have a kind of vessel and you put charcoal in there? Like how do you actually do it if someone wanted to do that?
Yeah, so I just recommend not using glass because it'll shatter, and whatever vessel we use a metal vessel, but you could use virtually anything if you put down a layer of sand or ash first, so that whatever burns doesn't, heat up the container. And then you can even put it outside. I mean, if you create this massive
you don't have to set up the smoke alarms.
You can put it outside. It isn't like that you have to smell it, right? It's an offering to everyone.
All right. Do you use the little charcoal briquettes, those things that you burn incense on, or do you just burn the items?
You can. Those are especially good for resins too, but we haven't been in the habit of using them. We just toss a big pile of powders and herbs and
on top of the sand.
And okay. Light them on fire and wave out.
Oh, cool. I actually have a package of smoke offering from you guys that I haven't used yet.
Oh.
So I'm going to use it on this moon.
That's so cool.
I'll be vibing with you with the blessing.
And you know what? If you are in a position where maybe you're in a small apartment in a big city, or it's not feasible to to be having this billowing smoke offering. You could even just do something as simple as taking the herbs and making an offering to the earth or to a tree.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Maybe you could even like blow on them before you put them, like put your like energy on them and like have that little bit of like.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. So smoke offering, ritual, generosity, just really visualizing that for the collective, right? Even for this.
It's actually, it makes it really big because you're using the astrological cosmic forces to create what you want to create for your own life. But then it's also sort of making that intention that may it be so for all beings everywhere. May everyone, you know, get into this vibe of nurturing disciplines and rewriting and transforming.
Yeah, well, that's so North Node in Cancer, right now, like we're really moving toward that, taking care of everyone, making sure no one's left out. And that's really beautiful. I love that. I love it. Love it. So that is our beautiful new moon. I would say I will give you all a check-in date. It's always useful to check in 6 months when we have the full moon in this particular sign. That can be a little progress report for you on your intentions and the things that you're wishing for and grounding into this new moon. And that will be on July 16th. And it will be a partial lunar eclipse because we will be in eclipse season again, of course, in 6 months. So that will be your first kind of check-in around your intentions that you are manifesting and moonifesting with this eclipse. Okay, new moon, check. So that's a lot. It's a big new moon. It's got a lot of intense energy. And then the next day, Sunday, Uranus turns direct. All right, so this is exciting for many reasons. First and foremost, between now and early March, all the planets are going to be direct. Like forward momentum.
Hallelujah.
Right?
Hallelujah.
This is a really beautiful opportunity to like align with a lot of forward motion in many areas of your life. And that's why getting very clear and kind of concrete and tangible about what you can do. I mean, the thing about Saturn is it's like kind of reality bites, but reality, we have to work in the realms of the physical. And so we have to be practical sometimes about the expansions and actually what's sustainable and what's doable. And so with all of these planets direct for almost 2 months until Mercury goes retrograde in March.
There will be no excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses for anything.
You work now. You hear us. No. It's just like, it's like a lot of momentum, forward moving energy. And
so use it.
Yeah. So use it or be used by it. I love this quote. I'm going to slaughter it because I think it's Latin. It says, Astra inclinant sed non obligant.
Astra inclinant
sed non obligant. The stars incline, but do not compel. So it's like work with. Isn't that good? That's like the good quote for astrology. It's not like they're making things happen, but they lean. I don't know. They have this energetic frequency, and it's like align with it and, align with this cosmic flow of forward momentum. Uranus direct, yeehaw. We're clearing out the last final bits of the Uranus and Aries 7-year cycle, right? And we're going to be moving into that Uranus in Taurus for the next 7 years. And that is going to bring a lot of revolution and changes in all the earthly realms, like physical body, money, the financial, although we're already starting to see the financial, like right now, there's a lot of, I think, kind of like crazy instability in the market as we're recording this in late December. And weather patterns. These are when the last time Uranus was in Taurus was during the Great Depression, I believe, and also the Dust Bowl and things like that. So I'm not saying the stock markets are going to crash or anything like that. I'm just saying like
they might.
This shakes up these realms. These are the Taurus realms, and Uranus is a shaker-upper, right?
With earthquakes and volcanoes too.
Earthquakes and exactly, yeah. Well, when Uranus moved into Taurus last May, I think Kilauea erupted, right? Yep. Right away. So it's just it's a change. It's a big change in a cycle.
Time.
It's shaky. Do your shaking practice. It'll make you feel better. Seriously. Shake out the physical body. If your nervous energy is like building because of the instability of the times, like shake. Shaking is really useful.
Jiggle, 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 wiggle.
Jiggle. Jangle. Okay. So that is the first week. It's a lot, right? We're starting out kind of intense, but why not? And then on Monday, the 7th, Venus changes signs. She moves into spicy Sagittarius, just to spice up your love life. So have fun with that. It's like, fire sign, lighthearted, adventurous, playful, spicy, Yeah. Look on your face. Go salsa dancing.
Okay.
All right. That's a nice aspect. It's a nice change. You might feel your energy shifting,
how long is it there?
Venus is there for
Wiener Schnitzel.
The Wiener Schnitzel is there until February 3rd. We watched Sound of Music over the holidays. Speaking of Wiener Schnitzel, Sound of Music. Sorry, you said it. It's like in my brain. Never mind. I had coffee today. I don't usually drink coffee. Okay.
We're having a salsa party on January 12th, so that sounds perfectly perfect for the spicy.
It's so perfect. How did you know? That's really great. I think also the moon will be conjunct Mars on the 12th too, and that's spicy because that's in Aries. Spicy. Okay, but back to the next day after the 7th. Okay, so there we go. We have Venus moving signs. And then what else is happening this week? So on Tuesday, the 8th, there may be some tension because there might be this like overthinking versus taking action kind of tension on that day because there's a Mercury-Mars square. So, and Mercury's in Capricorn, so we're super diligent, like thinking, practical kind of things. And Mars is in Aries. Let's go. Let's do it. Action, just bold, and there may be a little bit of friction there for you. You might be having a hard time like taking action, or you think you're going to do it, but then you wait a minute. I got to think about that plan again. So, doing something physical could really help you move that energy through if you're feeling stuck, or just don't make a decision that day if you feel like you can't. Like do it the next day or whatever. I just wanted to mention that aspect. And then on the 10th, we're going to have kind of a dreamy day because the moon will conjunct Neptune. So that also could be, that's dreamy, it's visionary, it's creative, but it can also be like, wait, what was I thinking? What was all that tension about anyway? Or it could just be like, wait, I forgot what I was doing. Like, it's Wednesday, it's an anything can happen day because it's a Mercury day anyway. So is that true, or is it Thursday? Oh, it's Thursday. It's Jupiter's day. It makes things bigger, extra dreamy. And then on Friday we have our yearly Sun conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. So that happens.
What does all that mean?
Well, it doesn't happen. Well, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean?
Well, once a year, the Sun and Pluto make a connection. Every year, they just make a conjunction because the Sun goes around much faster than Pluto does. The Sun gets around not as fast as the Moon, but in any event, this is like subterranean, subconscious explorations and like some cognition or some light being like kind of shined into like the deeper recesses of your being. This is like transformative, kind of rebirthing kind of energy.
Ooh, we're having an alchemy party that day.
Look at her. She's all lined up.
It's so annoying. I'm sorry. But we are.
No, it's not annoying at all. You need to be telling your listeners what kinds of things you're doing, and you can see how like amazingly aligned with the cosmos they are. How cool is that? But like, I would just say that it could be kind of a heavy energy. It could be whenever Pluto's involved, there's always the potential for like power plays as well, just because that happens with Pluto. But I feel like this is, in eclipse season, it's just, we're getting in that kind of squeeze of the tunnel, and it's this, what are you shedding to be reborn kind of thing. And very in the physical realms as well. Like it could be a nice day to, I don't know, eat light and I don't know, treat your body well. You know what I mean? Like it's an earth sign, but I just feel like there's some stuff that might creep up from the psyche, and you know, this week. And that aspect is happening. It's a big one. It's kind of heavy hitting. It's a lot of Capricorn energy. Yeah. And then we have that moon conjunct Mars for your party and, right. Party, salsa party.
Yeah.
Salsa party.
Salsa.
And salsa. And then we have an aspect that we're going to have in an aspect that's going to be a 3-part series. I know we love the 3-part series. We have 2 of those. Okay. So the first one is happening on Sunday, the 13th. And this repeating pattern that we're going to see this year is this Jupiter-Neptune square. Okay. So Jupiter is in Sagittarius, Neptune is in Pisces. So this square is like misplaced optimism. It's kind of like real, because I mean, Jupiter expands everything, right? Optimistic and just like wants to grow. And Neptune is super dreamy and creative, but can be a little deluded and delusional. So this is important to pay attention to because it's going to happen 3 times. And so we need to be clear. Like sometimes our perception gets clouded by illusions or by confusion. And these ask this square or fantasy, right? So this
to be a certain way.
What's that?
Wanting it to be a certain way.
Wanting it to be a certain way. Exactly. So this is going to happen 3 times this year. It's happening on this 13th of January. It'll happen again on June 16th and then September 21st. So it's like just really examining illusions, fantasies, reality. Again, it's not that we don't want to dream big, but we also want to, it's Capricorn season. We have to have footing to back it up sometimes and plan. Yes. Action, baby. What's our elixir this month? How's it going to help us with this? I think it's the time to talk about it right now.
Oh, sure. So we're working with, if you're in the Flower Revolution program, the elixir is the Silky Fringe.
Silky. Silky Fringe is your friend.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I'm still getting over bronchitis.
Oh my God. You had bronchitis?
Yeah.
Well, honey, no wonder you're sleeping a lot. Hello.
Let's see. Yeah, so Silky Fringe, oh my God, it's the most gorgeous flower. If you have it, you've got it in front of you, right? Do you have it in your collection?
I don't have it in front of me, but I should have it. It's over there.
It's like meteor showers. It's like an explosion of purple. It is so gorgeous. It's a gorgeous flower. And it's all about being direct, saying it like it is, addressing your priorities head on, choosing your priorities, sticking with your priorities, committing to your priorities. It's about sudden insights, saying things like, saying the things you need to say without hesitation, having really dynamic communication, a little bit more extroversion, coming out of your comfort zone, and it dissolves any tendencies that we may have to isolate, withdraw, feel alone, or avoid things. And I think that's just a common human thing, right? When things get difficult, we either run away or we avoid or we withdraw. So it's pretty much just a serum to kind of supercharge us into the energy of just what's righteous and true for us.
I love it. That's
if
good.
You are not in the Flower Revolution program, there are a couple elixirs that you could take a look at. One is Trumpet Vine and one is Grevillea, and those are both really good for speaking the truth and saying it like it is. There's another elixir called Truth Teller. It's a combination actually it's on its way. It will be fully launched in February, but you can have access to it right now through this collection called Boom, which is actually, honestly, it's pretty awesome. Like, what
is it?
It's so there's 2 different packages. One is 6 little mists, and
I love those mists.
One is 6 bath salts. So you can choose your route if you like to soak in water and do a ritual whenever you need it, or if you prefer to just have something in your purse and use it as you go. And the Boom is just like, it's all about action, confidence, breaking through limitations, wisdom, insights, not letting anything stress you out, and really just like single-pointedly going after what you want.
Perfect. Perfect. That's really good. I love the sprays. I highly recommend them. I mean, I love a good bath too, but the sprays, you can throw them in your bag and they're so good. They smell so good and they really do shift your frequency so quickly. And I love them. That's a perfect, well, I'm glad I mentioned it because you might be double or tripling dosing on your silky fringe this day to help you like cut through your own kind of, just get to it, get focused and get past.
The Neptune-y.
Yeah, with that Neptune Jupiter square. I mean,
Gotcha.
You just might find yourself double dosing, or you might run out of your bottle of truth spray that day. You never know. Beautiful. Okay. I love them. I can't wait to look at Silky Fringe now. You've got me very excited. As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to go dig it out of its special place and look at it.
It is interesting though. I will say, if you do have that elixir, you know how sometimes it makes you feel the opposite for the first couple days?
Yes.
I was at I first started taking it. I start to take things early, kind of so I know what's coming. But I took it. It was like some holiday excursion with family, and I just like kept taking the elixir, and it was a little chilly, so I put the hood over my head, and
she disappeared.
I just like didn't say anything for like 2 hours. Just silent, and I was in a crowd of like hundreds of people, so it's normal if you feel the opposite at first.
And it's eclipse season, so things are topsy-turvy or whatever.
Topsy-turvy.
They're inside out. It's just that way, but sometimes you have to go deeply within to really come out, like that kind of going in to then bloom. You think about when a little seed plants its little like roots in and then erupts, right? So,
right.
Okay. Seed metaphor. All right.
Okay, so the second week.
Oh my God.
No, third week.
Okay, I'm like, no, we have to be
third week.
Yes, thank you. Please, second week. Don't scare me like that. Okay, so the Monday, the 14th, is the first quarter moon. And the reason that I'm really speaking to that also is because we're halfway between eclipses with the quarter moon. So this is a kind of just a point to notice. The first quarter moon is in Aries that day, which means the moon will make a conjunction with that just forward Uranus before it goes void, of course. And that can be a little like, whoa, destabilizing or super energizing, but moon, Uranus, and Aries, or both, or all of the above. It's taking, this is a moment to kind of check in always on the first quarter moon. Like, okay, what am I moving toward? What have I left behind? What's going on with what's present right now? Like, so that's happening halfway between eclipses. And then let's see, the next thing I want to kind of talk about is on the 18th, which is Friday. We've got a Venus-Mars trine. So that's spicy. Venus in Sagittarius flowing and harmonizing with Mars in Aries. There's a lot of heat, a lot of fire. What kind of party are we having, Katie? Anything?
Well, 2 days prior on the 16th, we're having it's like the opening of our wellness center. So heat's good for healing.
Yeah.
Or should we do it on that Friday? Would that be better?
Well, I mean,
crank it up.
People will be vibing. I mean, Mercury's also conjunct Pluto that day as well. So that's pretty deep. And the sun is square Uranus. There's a lot of really interesting astrology that day, but I just feel like things are going to be fiery to Venus Day. I like the Venus energy. Okay. I love Mercury too, but I am partial to Venus. She's just stellar. So there's a lot of interesting energy on that Friday. So you might be feeling like, ooh, spicy. Whoa, I feel stuck. And, I'm at odds with something with the square, the sun's Uranus square. I'm not getting what I want or what I want to do and what I need to do are in conflict. You know what I mean? And then with the Mercury conjunct Pluto, it's like, oh, going deep, deep insights. So it's eclipse season and, there's some pretty wild energy that day. I just keep saying it all episode long. It's eclipse season.
I think you should do like monologues. You should do like, listen to me, all of you.
Oh my God. Didn't you get enough should down the hallway last night, Katie?
Yeah. Geriatrics. I think it would be amazing if you did astrological monologues because you kind of do them anyway. You play out all the different scenarios in one's head that occur with all these different influences.
You mean like monologuing for the planets? I don't understand. Hello, I'm Pluto, and I'm Pluto. Hi, I'm Mercury. Hi, I'm Pluto. No, okay.
No, the neurotic parts of ourselves when we're under.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to do lunar astrology reports, which were me monologuing on and on, but I've retired those in 2018 and moving on to new pastures. What may they be? I don't know. It's a secret. No, it's not really, but I used to do a lot of.
Wait, can we do a little commercial interlude?
Please do.
I saw that you had a program right now that looks really awesome. For 3 months. 333
my lunar cycle strategy coaching.
And you get like how many sessions a month? So to make sure you're on track, it's pretty amazing.
It is. It's actually, yeah. Thank you. It's working with the major moon phases and the current astrology, all tailored to your natal chart. Yeah, it's pretty stellar. I realize that this is going to be funny, but I don't know. I have to say it. It's a bespoke offering. You know that word, bespoke, which means like I know. Well, I don't. It's custom. I just realized I thought it was only like clothes, but I'm like, this is bespoke because it really is very customized to you. And therefore you're aligning not with like just what I'm saying about the cosmic energies, but how it actually applies to your personal astrology, which makes all the difference. Cause then know
it's a whole different conversation.
Thank you for that commercial interlude. Yeah, reach out if you're interested. Okay. Where were we? Oh, you're moving your party to Friday.
Yeah.
To take advantage of all that conflicting energy, and why not? And then we're building towards the next eclipse, which is happening depending on where you live, the 20th or the 21st. Okay. So it's visible from America. If you've got clear skies, you can watch a total lunar eclipse, which is highly, highly recommended. If you feel like it. This is the thing with eclipses. I want to say this. You don't have to look at an eclipse if you don't want to. There are a lot of different traditions around eclipses. Some are like, do not look at the eclipse, you know.
The guys who were working on our floors, they're from the Navajo Nation, and in their tradition, you don't go out on eclipse days. You just don't go out, period. Yeah. You don't go to your house.
Right. So like some traditions are like, don't go out, don't look at it, don't be with it. Some people love to go out and look at it and you feel really drawn to doing it. And I think it's really, really important to listen to your intuition about this. You're going to feel it, whether you see it or not.
Right.
If you're going to go look at it, I'm just going to say it, stay sober. Seriously. Like it's altering. It's alters your frequency and your energy field. Stay hydrated, stay grounded, like respect it. There's a lot of energy and everything is really amplified, magnified on these lunations, these eclipses. And this is a total lunar eclipse. It's also a supermoon, which just means that the moon is the closest to Earth. So it's really big, right? So it impacts, the tides will be really big and things like that. So we feel it a lot in our body. It is in the sign of Leo.
Awesome.
This is where I'm tying us into the final lesson of eclipse, the earlier eclipse cycle that we were in, which was the North Node in Leo, South Node in Aquarius cycle, which was from May 2017 to November 2018. It included that total solar eclipse that went across the United States, right? This is the very, very last of those eclipses. So it really is, I feel like what it might show up as for some of us is like a final test almost that we have to pass around the courage to shine your light, to own your skills and talents, to follow your heart, right? What you need to shed in order to shine and to share your best self with others, right? And this eclipse is square Uranus. So it's got this kind of intensity about it. It's already intense because it's a total lunar eclipse. The eclipse family that this eclipse is from is one that's connected to a quick fulfillment of wishes and sudden breakthroughs and achievements. So I feel like it's really this opportunity to like break through something that we've been working on for a while there around courage and being seen and visibility. And with the nodes now in Cancer and Capricorn, I feel like it's also about tending to our inner child, because Leo is really about the child as well. And with that, those are kind of the parenting signs, and really this nourishment and this love and this self-love and this care with the North Node in Cancer, versus this kind of disciplinarian, old rules and kind of, not really, children should be seen and not heard. Like, we got to balance that out within ourselves and as a culture. And it's a North Node eclipse, because the moon is near the North Node in Cancer. So even though the eclipse is in Leo, the node is in Cancer. So that's where we have this blending going on of like, we're finishing out the old as we step into the new. And yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. Powerful. What do you think?
I love it. I think it's great.
Ritual?
Oh boy.
Did I say it was a supermoon? I did, didn't I?
You did.
Oh, and there's 3 supermoons in a row. So the next 3 full moons will be supermoons. This is number 1, and then they're all at like 0 degrees of the sign. So they're really talking about new things starting.
So January, February, March.
Yes, all the full moons are supermoons, and not all eclipses. This is the eclipse, but they're all going to be supermoons. They're all like in the very beginning of the sign. So there's some really interesting patterning going on, that this moon is starting for us, starting something, completing something. I hope the sky is clear. I want to watch it. I watched the last one that I could watch, and it really impacted my digestive system. It was kind of crazy. As soon as it was literally like when the moon dipped down below the horizon, all of a sudden my stomach just like went, and I had to like sprint home. It was so, I'm telling you, it really impacts your body. The moon is very much not just about the emotions,
but
it's about the physical form that we inhabit. So it really impacts your body. That's why I'm like, stay sober, stay grounded, stay hydrated. Like, just take care of yourself.
What day is that of the week?
It's going to be Sunday night here.
Oh, I love that.
So, and it will be, it's complete, like exact, somewhere, I feel like you'll be able to start watching it like around 6 p.m. or something, and it'll be dark enough. It starts to get dark, but by the time it's dark, it'll really be starting to be happening, and we'll be able to see the totality of it if the sky is clear where you live. If you're in the States.
I feel like if you're drawn to watching it, you should just go outside and watch it. And if you're not drawn to watching it, then you could just draw a hot bath and soak up that energy in the water.
Yeah, and look at it, light a candle for the fire moon, right? Yeah, it's visible in Europe, Asia, Africa, Americas, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Oceans, and the Arctic. It's pretty much like if it's nighttime and you have a clear sky, you can see this wherever you are.
Wow.
Yeah. And the sun has just moved into Aquarius, by the way, too, on this day. So the sun moves into Aquarius, then there's a full moon. The moon's in Leo, opposite the sun in Aquarius. So we're lighting up that pair of energy. Those planet, what are they? Signs. God. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. So watch it, don't watch it, but really think about some of the themes that I mentioned and see how they apply to your life. And don't be afraid to really value yourself and love yourself and shine your light this year. Use your talents and skills and share them with the community. And we're, everybody's very unique, and we need everybody. We need it all right now. So, okay. Nothing else for you? Nothing else on this ritual? No ritual?
No, it just feels like a time to be kind of quiet. Whether you're watching it or not watching it, just feels like a time to be aware and be quiet and just experience and be.
Experience and be.
Not
okay.
Do anything.
There you go. All right. So that's that. Check second lunation. What else do we got this month? Let's see. So that we're moving into week whatever.
4.
What is it? wherever we are. And we're like, eclipse drunk because we stayed sober. Just kidding. I'm really not a teetotaler at all. I don't know why I keep saying that. I think it's the Capricorn influence. It's like sobering. It's very sobering. But in any event, that Monday we've all just had an eclipse, or we're having an eclipse. And then there is a Mars-Saturn square that day. And that can be Monday, the 21st.
Okay.
That can be a frustrating aspect, really, between kind of like your will, Mars in Aries, and what your responsibilities are, right? Saturn and Capricorn. So those are the, quote, malefics. Mars and Saturn are both bad guys in astrology and like traditional astrology. So they both have like kind of intense, ominous energy if you want them to. So after the eclipse, it just might feel, you might feel less pressure between them. And again, like it's always a good idea with Mars and Saturn to move your body, move your energy, move it through. Physical activity could be really useful, or sleep if you're exhausted, right? If you're tired from the eclipse, which you might be drained. And you might be like, why am I so tired? And it's like, well, a lot just happened. So take care of your body. And then the 22nd is our big star happy day, because Venus and Jupiter make a conjunction. So if you play the lotto, go for it. Oh, lucky day, right? Those are the benefics. So the day before, we have an aspect between the malefics, the like more intense energy planets. And then the next day we have a really beautiful uplifting aspect between the good vibe planets. So that's in Sagittarius, and that's a conjunction. And again, just a nice uplifting lucky day. And then we're going to have some out of the box thinking this week when Mercury moves into Aquarius after making a square with Uranus. It's kind of like the final thing that happens with Mercury and Capricorn, this square with Uranus, this pressure, which can really then, when Mercury moves into Aquarius, I feel like open us up to some new insights, some out of the box thinking. The 23rd.
23rd.
Mm-hmm. And it might be the 24th when Mercury moves into Aquarius for you if you're on the East Coast, 3-hour time zones. But the actual square between the two of them is on that Wednesday, and then late night or early morning, Mercury changes signs. So that's two sign changes for Mercury, and Mercury's moving really fast right now. And then on Friday, we have a Mars and Jupiter trine, which is all fire and kind of like this surge of confidence. Like that action and expansion and fire, and it's kind of like an upswing of energy. We'll take it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that'll lead us into the weekend. And then the last kind of things I want to mention are on Sunday. Why does that say Sunday? I think it's actually Tuesday. What day is the 29th?
29 is Tuesday.
Okay. Well, I don't know why it says Sunday here. Oh, it's sun. I'm sorry. Sun conjunct Mercury. It's a Mercury Cazimi.
Oh, on Tuesday?
Yes.
On the 29th? Hey, great.
On the 29th. So conception and communication of original ideas, right? It's an Aquarius. So like, that's just a nice day to get an aha, or to just like feel some kind of, again, this would be a great day to write. This is a great day to communicate. Write down all your ideas this day, if you have any ideas, or the day before. Like this time when Mercury and the Sun make their Cazimi, especially when Mercury is moving forward, which is this Cazimi is, it's just a lot of like, sparks. And with Aquarius, it's very visionary. And then the last aspect I'm going to mention is on the 31st, and it's another 3-part aspect. And it's pretty unique because the last time we had these planets connecting in this way was in 1996.
Oh, interesting.
Right. So the planets are Saturn, which right now is in Capricorn, and Neptune in Pisces. And they're making what's called a sextile. It's a 60-degree angle, and it's like a flowing, beneficial connection between these two planets. So the last time it happened 3 times in 95 and 96. And this year, it's going to happen 3 times this year.
Wow.
So yeah. And this is really like uniting the spiritual and material world. Pisces, spiritual world, Capricorn, material world, right? Neptune, dreaming, visioning, creating, Saturn, building, creating in a different way. And so this is inviting you to make your dreams a reality, to have patience, and to stick to your ideals, like what really is like important to you, to have faith and belief in yourself. This is the aspect that's going to happen 3 times, and each time you might feel either like you're losing faith in yourself and you need to remember to have it, or you might like have that remembrance of like, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, it makes sense. I see how it's working. And the next 2 times that it will be exact this year are June 18th and November 8th. So 3 times these planets are going to come into this aspect where the energy flows nicely between the 2 of them. And that's going to take us out of, so our last thing I'm going to talk about for January of 2019. I feel like I've talked so much.
That month is packed.
It's packed, girl.
And it's also the last month of the dog year, because in February, pretty soon out of the gate, we transition into the year of the boar.
Yay! I love pigs. My daughter's a little boar. She's so lovely. Boars are so wonderful, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
They're so fun to be around. They're really joy. And this is the golden earth pig, right? That's what I read somewhere. Golden earth pig.
Golden. I like that.
Golden pigs. Maybe you should visualize those in your smoke offering. I'm saying. And then
you're such a nut.
And then are we going to start a new flower evolution program next month as well?
We are. We're we do them in, I mean, you can join anytime, but we kind of like assemble everything
6 month cycles.
6 months at a time. Yeah. In February, we're starting with Venus flytrap.
No way. Ooh.
Crazy. This will be our first carnivorous flower that plant that we featured.
Goodness. I'm just so intrigued.
Very meaty.
Very meaty. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. Where'd you gather that? Was that in the rainforest?
Oh no, I wish. I actually it's cultivated. I don't know where to find. I think you can find them actually. It's kind of my dream to find it in the wild. This one didn't come from the wild. It was, I tended to it, but I think you can find them in the wild in North Carolina. I think.
What? Really?
I know. It's kind of random.
That is random. Okay. Well, that's exciting. A new 6 month cycle of flower evolution. I wonder what it'll be I wonder what we'll be working on for the next 6 months between eclipse seasons again. Very cool. Okay. Venus flytrap it is.
Okay. Well, so let's see. So the themes, bullet points.
You tell me. You listen to me ramble that whole time. What jumps out at you? You listen to me monologue. What do you think?
It's very action oriented. Lots of fire. Lots of responsibilities, commitments, building daily disciplines, but nurturing disciplines, things that work for you. Yes. Healing arts, love of humanity.
Conscious commitments.
A lot. There just seems like you get a lot of transition happening.
Well, all the forward moving planets, eclipse season is always very transition oriented. And I think that we're really invited into, again, taking responsibility for the life that we're creating, and to I wrote something down. Dang it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, well. So many notes here. And getting, and maybe finding ourselves challenged along the way, but keep tuning into your internal guidance and to your value system and to what we're moving toward with the North Node, which is this more humanitarian, taking care of and nurturing the whole, and stay on path and don't be afraid of working hard this year. Don't overwork yourself, make it sustainable. But this is a year for strong building, I feel like, with all of this, just feels like quick manifestation to me in a way.
Because 2020, we're going to explode.
Don't say that. But 2020, it's some pretty intense stuff happening. We'll get there eventually, but we are building towards some of those cycles right now. for sure. But it's eclipse season, so have fun. Don't hold too tight to anything because it's a wild and crazy ride.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening to this month's episode of Moonshine with our intuitive astrologer, Kristina Wingeier. And we hope you have an enjoyable January and step out of the gate into the moon gate, into the other side of the moon gate of 2019.
Talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Flower Lounge. I'm Katie Hess, and we'll be releasing a new podcast every Wednesday. If you like what you heard, or you know someone who might be touched by our conversation, share it with them. And don't forget to subscribe. To find out what your favorite flowers mean about you, take the quiz at LOTUSWEI.com.